Hey, crypto family. So you can see Bitcoin has fallen to the downside today, down over 8% to $7,245, with a lot of the altcoins being down the same amount and some even double digits. Now, everyone's wondering what the reason is for this downturn. And really, I think it's just exhaustion that we had at the top. So you can see Bitcoin tried to break that 8,400 resistance multiple times, could not close above it on the daily, and hence fell to the downside. Now, if you look at the RSI was really overbought at 85, and you can see couldn't hold it for much longer. And also, we just kept, trying to go to the upside, but there just weren't enough buyers at this level. And if you actually go on to the 4-hour chart, you can see here that, again, multiple times it tried to break that 8,400 level, and it could not. Now, the support here at 7,300, that actually fell through that, and it went to a low of $6,380. Now, one of the big reasons I think this is, if you looked at the CME futures, there was a gap, but whenever Bitcoin started to have its rally, and during these gaps tend to fill, and whether they fill earlier or later, they tend to eventually fill. So they filled those gaps, and that's exactly what happened. That's why we fell to this downside here, and you can see once it hit that gap of 63.80, then we rocketed back up to the upside, and again it's trying to test this $7,300 level. Now, hopefully we can close above this $7,300 level and continue our bull run, but if we don't, then again, just keep in mind the next support we're looking for is 6,500. So that's something we'll have to look out for. And again, this 50-day moving average that's under right now as well, which could be a little bit of resistance. And then looking at the daily, you can see it is still well above all of the three moving averages, 50-day, 200-day, and 128-day. So we're going to have to see if it can recover. But again, this is very, very strong sign since we did bounce back from that 63.80, and we have been hovering around the 7,300. So we'll have to see what happens and if we can hold this level. Now, one of the first articles I want to talk about is CoinDesk, and it's regarding Facebook's Libra project that they're starting on. So as you know, Facebook has been working on their own stable coin, and the project is actually called Libra. And basically what they want to do is they want to reward their users for clicking on ads and basically just collecting their information. And similar to the Brave browser in that you can get money for clicking on ads, Brave has their basic attention token. Now Facebook's thinking of creating Libra. And it says, according to the Reuters report, Facebook registered a new company, Libra Networks, in Geneva on May 2nd. This coincides with the slow rollout of their internal cryptocurrency that will define the company's first foray into the blockchain technology. It says Facebook's march towards crypto has been slow and steady. The company's latest move, the hiring of 2 Coinbase compliance managers, happened on 14th of May. And again, there's some U.S. lawmakers that are actually wanting clarification about Facebook asking U.S. banks to share detailed financial information about consumers. And again, there's been a lot of privacy concerns with Facebook, since it's really no surprise that they're selling their customers' private data to third-party companies. And again, that's a big ad revenue for Facebook, because they are, they're in the advertisement business, and they have over 1 billion users. So that's why it's a big money-making scheme that they're doing. So it'll be interesting to see exactly, when this cryptocurrency project takes off. But regardless, there's going to be a lot of exposure with their customers to cryptocurrency if they do launch this. So again, it could create more of that mainstream adoption, but we'll have to see exactly what happens. Now, second article is talking about Bitcoin, and there's over 730,000 Bitcoin addresses who own more than 1 BTC, and that is insane. It says, a glance at a historical chart tracking Bitcoin's active addresses indicate that active Bitcoin addresses were on their all-time high towards the end of 2017. And it says, right now, however, in May last year, the number of daily active Bitcoin addresses crossed the 1 million mark. And then in December 2018, as noted by Rand Nooner, the host of CNBC Twitter, says, quote, the drop in prices hasn't deterred new users from entering the market. 2 million Bitcoin wallets since September. Many of them are institutional. Don't let prices distract you. Now, I want to show a graph here of the Bitcoin active addresses. And quote, these are active, so not total addresses. But you can see here when Bitcoin was up to 20,000, there were nearly 1 million active addresses. And then it fell after that decline, and now it's on the uptrend again. And you can see right now total active addresses are 771,000. You can see that coincides with the active addresses of March of 2017. So you could look, if you're looking at this as a TA perspective, you could see, okay, this is resistance around this 800,000 address mark, and it's approaching that, so possibly that could be a bullish indicator. But again, it's just for your SA, the number of active addresses, but it's good to see it's continuing to rise, which that interest is showing continued interest. And then another article here says Russian Bitcoin supporters have opened 80,000 addresses since April. According to Federico Piernacci of Global Research, for most countries, including Russia, de-dollarization has become a pressing issue, and other economies are taking note of the benefits of decentralized systems as opposed to the Federal Reserve minted greenback. And it says, basically, they're looking at advantages of decentralized systems versus the U.S. dollar. So as you know, the U.S. has created a lot of sanctions against Russia, Iran, a lot of people are at North Korea, and those countries are looking towards Bitcoin and other decentralized platforms to have that currency. So, again, while it's not, the best pro reason for Bitcoin adoption, you can see a lot of countries, regardless, are using it to get away from that fiat mindset. And again, a lot of other countries, Venezuela, third world countries, are looking at Bitcoin as an advantage over their fiat, especially due to inflation. So it's good to see, at least a lot of countries are looking towards this, and again, it just increases that mainstream adoption. Another article here is by News BTC. It says venture capitalists improved fundamentals will help Bitcoin rocket towards its all-time high of 2019. Then it talks about Bitcoin plummeting below 7,000 before quickly bouncing back into the 7,000 region. And basically it says, despite some short-term choppiness over the long time frame, the markets are still in a clear uptrend, and one prominent venture capitalist believes that the improved fundamental conditions of the crypto market will help propel them towards their all-time highs in 2019. Basically what this says is, Bitcoin having that pullback does make room for it to propel in the future, because again, there always needs to be corrections after parabolic rises that we did have, and also the market in 2017 was much different than now. So basically right now there's a lot of infrastructure building behind the scenes. Basically companies like Fidelity and the ICE-backed exchange is also coming into fruition, and then you also have companies that have custodies. So for example, like Coinbase custody, a lot of institutional investors, basically where they can keep their cryptocurrency safe and it's protected by insurance policy. You have a lot of these new things coming along which there weren't available in 2017. So again, it's great to see a lot of these new advantages and how they'll continue to improve. And then this article here says vicious crypto crash could supercharge Bitcoin price rally to 20,000. So basically here they make a long-term uptrend line, and you can see here that Bitcoin has still not has not broken through that uptrend line, which I believe is around that 5,000 mark. So if Bitcoin continues to stay on this trend line, then definitely there is some more bullish action. Now we could very well keep falling, but I do believe that while it potentially may fall in the short term, we are still on an uptrend, and as long as Bitcoin holds these very, very important support levels around the $5,500 to $6,000 mark, then we could see a continued uptrend here. So again, nothing goes straight up. I mean, we did have that in 2017, but that was mainly because there was a lot of hype and a lot of new investors in the market. Now it's more experienced investors and people who actually understand blockchain. So something to keep in mind. And again, if you are thinking of what to do right now with your fiat or your cryptocurrencies, again, I say just hold them for long term. That is always the best option. But again, if you are short term trading, possibly buying half right now and half later if there's a further pullback. But again, not investment advice, just my opinion. So if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, thanks for watching.